Hello everyone and welcome to your guided reading lesson for today. So as the title suggests, we're going to be doing some poetry, okay? Very exciting, it's the first time we've done that this year, so looking forward to it. So just to start us off, we're going to do a quick recap, okay? Quick flashback forward type thing, where we're going to look at this picture and we're going to be getting back into our inference mindset, okay? So I think you're familiar with this by now, so take a look at the picture and work through the questions. Pause here, okay? Have a go. You just jot down notes if you want, very briefly. You don't have to write loads, okay? And give it a go, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss. Right. Welcome back, everyone. So, first one. So, what can we see in this picture? So, we have a bench, don't we? Okay, and we know it's a bench. They tell us it's a bench, and it appears to be in some kind of park, doesn't it? Now, it's not. It's hard to get too much information from this. Obviously, the grass would suggest it's in a reasonably cool climate because you don't get grass in deserts, for example. But beyond that, I mean, it just looks like any normal bench in an English or British park, doesn't it? Really, I would say. So very difficult to say, but it looks like some kind of parkland. Now, who sits on it? Well, again, tricky. Okay, it could be all sorts of people. It could be dog walkers taking a little break. Could be people just, somewhere just to sit and chat. Some people like to meet, obviously not at the moment, but in normal times like to meet up and have a chat on a bench, okay? And often benches, you'll often find in a local community, people will have a particular bench that they like. So it could be regulars. You could have people sitting on this bench on a regular basis, sort of as part of their morning walk or whatever it is, okay? But yeah, I would say it's probably just people enjoying the park, whether it's with their dogs, with their family, with their friends, whatever, just having a nice time in the park. Now, is this bench old or new? Well, I think this one's pretty clear. I think we can say that this bench is old, okay? If you look at the way it's kind of buckled in a little bit, hasn't it? You can see it's clearly been sat on a lot because although the top three panels of wood appear to be reasonably intact, the bottom ones have that kind of slope in, don't they? Okay, so this has clearly been a well-loved bench. People enjoy sitting on it, which is lovely. Okay, that's really nice. Now, this last one I think is quite interesting. Does this bench look comfortable? Well, it depends really, doesn't it? Because when I first saw this, I thought, well, for example, in a sofa, you might have a crease in the sofa where the person that likes that spot on the sofa sits all the time. And the sofa kind of creaks in, it gets worn, but actually that's really comfortable. That's where you feel comfortable. And if you move away from that crease of the sofa, then you're a bit like, oh, this is strange. I don't really know what this is, okay? So I would say that it's probably personal choice, really. But like I say, you could see a case where actually a really well-worn bench might be really comfortable. It's got a little bit of give. Lots of people have sat there. But at the same time, if the bench is starting to fall apart, right, if it's been sat on so much, then maybe it wouldn't be that comfortable. So my hunch is probably not that comfy, but if you found the right spot, it might be okay. All right. So hopefully you had a go. And that's just a starter activity. So now we're going to look at the poem we're going to do today. Okay. So we are going to look at a poem called My Mother Saw a Dancing Bear. And this was written by Charles Causley. Okay. And I'm going to read it to you now. And I just want you to close your eyes and listen first, okay? You'll have a paper copy to work through when you go through the questions that you have. There's a little sheet of questions you need to work through. But I'm just going to read it to you now. So just close your eyes, listen to it, and get your first impressions of the poem, okay? So, My Mother Saw a Dancing Bear by Charles Causley. My mother saw a dancing bear by the schoolyard a day in June. The keeper stood with chain and bar and whistle pipe and played a tune. And Bruin lifted up its head and lifted up its dusty feet, and all the children laughed to see it caper in the summer heat. They watched as for the Queen it died, they watched it march, they watched it halt. They heard the keeper as he cried, now roly-poly, somersault. And then my mother said, there came the keeper with a begging cup, the bear with burning coat of fur, shaming the laughter to a stop. They said a penny for the dance, but what they saw was not the show. Only in Bruin's aching eyes, far distant forests and the snow. Right, lovely, okay. I think this is a fantastic poem, okay. I think it's brilliant. Now, I'm not going to give away too much about the poem and what I think about it, because what I really would like you to do is to see your own interpretations of it when you're answering these questions. But what I will do is I will go through those answers with you later on, and we can discuss them, okay? And we can sort of share our ideas and make sure you're happy with it, because there are some tricky questions on this sheet of paper. There are some ones which you're going to need to retrieve parts of the poem. Okay, you need to look carefully at parts of the poem and retrieve that information at the back of your answer. And there's some where you are going to have to make some inferences, okay, just like we've been practicing. But I hope that you sort of enjoy the poem and you give it a go. And like I say, you'll have a paper copy, so you can look back. You don't have to listen to me reading it all the time. You can look back through and find where you need to find, and then that will help you answer the questions. Okay, so the sheet will be attached, and you can work through. I think there's about 8 questions on there. Okay, give those a go. Some of them will be very quick, and some of them will make you think a little bit more. All right, so give it a go, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with. And best of luck.